Hi book babes, my name is Ainsley and welcome to my library. If you're wondering why there's poor lighting and why I'm in pajamas, that is because I am about to jump into a 24-hour readathon and I'm about to take like a 3-hour nap before we get started. So that is why I am in my PJs, ready to just get the day going. Before we get started, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about my TBR, just because these are the books that I'm going to be reading throughout this video. So I definitely want you guys to know a little bit more about each book. That way, whenever it comes to me starting a new book, I don't have to stop reading to explain the synopsis to you. I can just get it done now and then fully focus on reading during the readathon. I did this 24-hour readathon last year on around the 4th of July, and I'm super thankful that I get to be doing this again this summer. This was just such a great way to just fully dive into some summer reads and just really dedicate my time to just reading and doing what I love most, which is just meeting new characters and falling into some plots. So I'm definitely very excited to be redoing this. If you haven't checked out that video, I recommend you to go and check it out. It was so much fun to film. And in that video, I read 4 books. I read 3.5 books, but I did accidentally fall asleep for like 3 hours. So I'm going to go in order of what my anticipated reading schedule is going to look like. However, if I finish a book and I'm just not in the mood for what I have planned next, that's okay. Literally look at my room, I have so many options. But so this is just kind of what I anticipate to be the order. And if that's not it, that's okay. But this is just kind of what I am thinking is going to happen. I really want to start with Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book I actually started reading today. I had a super duper chill day. I let myself sleep in. Then I went to the beach and I allowed myself to read. Previously, I don't allow myself to read before I readathon because I don't want to burn myself out. But I was also just so stoked to start reading this book and I didn't want to like make myself dread picking this book up. So I definitely want to finish it. I only got 83 pages in today, so I'm starting chapter 8. So I definitely want to finish this book first. I just have met all the characters. The plot is just getting started. So I definitely want to keep that up and just keep reading this book. Basically, the premise of this whole book is 2 people are part of this giant friend group, and annually they go to this beach house every single summer and just spend a week together to just reunite because they're young adults. So they don't live near each other anymore post-college because obviously life started for all of them. And this friend group, there's this one couple, Harriet and Wynn, and they have unfortunately broken up, but for the sake of having one last summer together at this cottage before it gets sold, they are just going to be fake dating, act like they never broke up, and just go and spend the summer like they always have in the history. And I hope they fall back in love by fake dating again. I'm not sure, but from where I am right now in the point of the book, they are still broken up and a little bitter with each other. So it's very fun. I love Emily Henry's writing specifically because of the banter and just how good she writes chemistry and tension. So I'm definitely feeling the tension right now, but I'm excited to pick this book up. The next book I really want to get to is Attached at the Hip. This book is actually the reason why I chose this date to do my readathon, because this book was just released on May 21st and I'm filming this book at the end of May. And so the reason why I chose right now is so that I could read this book for this readathon, because I have been so excited for this book ever since Christine made her announcement several months ago. This book was a pre-order, so I've just been thrilled and so excited to read this book. This book follows Ori as she goes on a Survivor-like reality TV show. So she's on a competition show that's very much like Survivor, but where the attached at the hip part of the title comes in is she is actually competing this challenge with a partner, and they are tied by their hips by a rope that's 6 feet apart. So they are literally being in this challenge together, but Ori shows up to this competition show just ready to kill it. She's excited to make a new friend. However, she's not making a new friend because she is paired with her old high school crush who she still kind of has feelings for. So this book is just going to be so much fun. I love Christine's writing. She just has such a way of making it engaging and has very interesting plots. I read one of her other books, Better Together. That book was just so good. She just has a way of writing characters that you can genuinely relate to, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's always a plot that you never expect. Being stuck on a remote island in a competition TV show with your high school crush sounds perfect on its own. I'm good, I'm sold. Next, I want to read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is a book that I bought the day it came out on October 3rd, Mean Girls Day. And I am just so excited to read this book because I loved Icebreaker and I loved Hannah Grace's writing and just how deep her characters are written. They are genuinely real people. Like, I'm shocked that the characters from Icebreaker don't exist. Like, in this book we follow Russ and Aurora, and they are college students at the end of the year bash, and they have a one-night stand. Only to find out in the next coming weeks they are summer camp counselors together at the same camp, stuck together for the next 9 weeks of their lives. So they really have to just find a way to get past the awkwardness of their past and be great summer camp counselors. I love books that take place at a summer camp because it is one of my favorite places to be, and it's one of my favorite moments of my life is being a camper or a counselor. All of my great life memories come from something having to do with summer camp. So I'm excited to just dive into this book. Next up is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. Funny story, this was actually a 24-hour readathon hopeful last time I did the readathon. So maybe this time we'll get to it. If not, that's okay. I have these 3 books that I definitely so badly want to get to. And if it takes me too long to read these 3 books, that's okay. This one I'll probably read this week or something because I'm still really excited to read this book. This book sounds chaos and I am so excited for the chaos. It sounds so good. I definitely want to get to it. One of my favorite books of last summer happened at a lakeside resort, so that vibe is just so strong. Well, I have probably yawned like 10 times during the filming of this introduction, so I am definitely going to go take a quick little nap, and I will catch up with you guys whenever it hits, I guess, like 11:55. It hasn't hit me yet that I'm doing it, but I feel like once it's 12, actually no, probably like once it's 4 a.m. and I'm just like, okay, because I pretty much constantly stay up till 3 a.m. reading. So I feel like once I get an hour past that and it's like 4 or 5 a.m. and I'm like needing coffee, that's gonna be where it clicks. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. Keep going. And I will see you in a couple hours for me, but a couple seconds for you. Bye. Hi guys. So it is 11:55. I just tried to nap from like 9:30-ish till about 5 minutes ago. I don't know why. I couldn't really sleep. I'm sure it was one of those things where like I did sleep. Oh no, I'm already yawning. I'm pretty sure it was one of those things where like you fall asleep, like you just don't remember, or like it doesn't feel like sleeping. So I went to the beach today and I got a little sunburn, which is totally fine. Nothing unnormal for me as somebody who's Irish. But I was wearing a mesh cover up and this is my sunburn. I look like, do you see all those dots? Do you see that I have literal polka dots on my body? So embarrassing. So embarrassing. I got this giant thing of popcorn, which as I was checking out, I was like, here's tomatoes. What I thought was lettuce was actually cabbage and lemons and cucumbers and carrots and a thing of popcorn. I have water. I have peed. I have my book. I'm about to boot up my Spotify playlist on my TV. Addie, quit it. And we're ready to get the party started. Let's go. We gotta go. We are a little over an hour in. It is 1:15 a.m. Doesn't really feel like anything because I'm usually up super early in the morning anyways before actually going to bed, so nothing's really changed. I am now on page 192 of Happy Place. I have some garlic bread and I have a glass of lemonade. I got completely sucked in this book, so I haven't turned on any playlists or anything. I'm about to go get on my bed and find a new position because this chair is kind of hurting me. So I'm gonna go to the bed, which could be a fatal decision. If I'm tired, getting in bed is dumb, but we'll figure it out. This book is bringing the vibes. Doesn't need a playlist to carry the energy. This book is bringing it. I'm gonna relocate and get some vibes going. how pure and deep the love and their friendships are, it is just reminding me of my best friends and how much I miss them. Like, she said, "You are a missing piece of my heart." I'm too unstable for this. I'm gonna finish this book and then I'll catch up with you guys. Hey guys, so I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry, and it is like 3:50, pretty much 4 a.m. So I am rating Happy Place 4.5 stars. Stay tuned for the end of the video where I go over my reasoning behind all the ratings. I don't want to take up too much of now's time discussing that, but it was so good. I mean, as you saw a second ago, I was sobbing, so it was so good. I know that this is a 24-hour readathon and I'm supposed to be reading for the whole 24 hours, but I find that taking a break in between books is so helpful, because whenever you go from one book to the next, you're pretty much setting up the next book to fail, because you need time to process what you just read and get your mind mentally ready for a new story, a new journey, a new adventure, meeting new people, going down a new plot. Like, your brain needs time to switch a little bit. So I'm gonna go make ramen and watch an episode of Selling Sunset, and then I'm gonna jump right into Attached at the Hip by Christine Riccio. So I will see you in like 30 minutes. Hey guys, so it is currently 10 a.m. I took a nap from 7 to 10 because I could not keep my eyes open anymore. The book was not making sense, and I was starting to feel migraine coming on. And sorry you guys, but there's very little I would do to like let a migraine happen. So took 3-hour nap. I'm feeling good. I am 55 pages into Attached at the Hip, so I'm very excited to get this going, get this started. So yeah, let's get going. So I'm currently reading Attached at the Hip. I took the cover off so it doesn't get ruined, but I'm still reading Attached at the Hip. Nothing has changed since I last checked in with you guys. I'm just 100 pages deeper into the book. So right now I'm at 160, which is really cool. I'm making such great progress. If you like the Survivor aesthetic, you would love this book, seriously. And I think this book is just really opening me up to why I should not go on any sort of dating show or any sort of like Survivor-esque challenge TV show, because I'm falling in love with all of our partners, and I am like wanting to make an alliance with everybody. You can't trust everybody on these shows, and I'm over here like, no, trust him, trust her, girl, trust him. So I'm just too trusting and too quick to fall in love to be in TV shows like this. So far, I am loving this plot. I am loving the characters. I'm loving how everybody has a different reason for being on the show. Everybody's in like a different stage of life. Everybody's just really, either they really, really love Survivor or they just needed something to do. And I just think it's really, really cool how this TV show is bringing all these different people together. I just think it would be kind of like a cute moment to go to a cafe, order some breakfast, and read. I think that's a cute vibe. So I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask my mom if she wants to go with me and my dad and just like have like a quiet, chill morning. Like, we do our own little separate things, but like we're together. I'm fine going alone, but I just like, we're supposed to do life together, and I really love my parents. So I'm gonna see if they want to join me, and I'm not gonna be butthurt if they don't want to. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep reading. guys, so I just got back from the beach, in case you like couldn't tell. I feel like I'm gonna be pretty sunburnt, but that's okay. Whatevs. You know what? I don't care. I had a great day today. I don't mind. I finished Attached at the Hip at the beach today. So good. I am giving it 5 stars. Oh my word. Next up is Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and this is the summer camp counselor book, so I'm very excited to hop into it. It is 5:30 p.m. so I'm going to hop into some comfier clothes, put some aloe vera on my skin, set up shop under my house. We have a hammock chair and a hammock, and I'm debating if I want which one I want to set up to read in. I'm thinking the hammock chair. So today it looks like I'm probably only going to be reading 3 books, but I'm completely okay with that. Today I've been really accepting of myself, so I don't know. I've read almost 800 pages today, so I feel like that's really good and I'm really okay with it. And then once I read this, which is another almost 400 page book, I'll have 1200. So yeah, we will be great. Again, it's just a challenge. And yes, I did sleep for 3 hours today, so I might go an extra hour into the night, but it looks like, but you know what? Who cares? It's just for a fun video. There's no winning or failing. It's just a video. I'm just having fun. I'm just reading a ton of books today. That's literally it. So I wanted to give you a 100 page mark kind of check-in. I read for a little bit outside. Bugs started coming and attacking me, and I said, I'm done. So we have moved the party inside. The plot is a little bit slower in this book. In comparison to the other 2 books that I've read, I feel like Happy Place and Attached at the Hip have both been like pretty fast-paced books, so I feel like Wildfire is kind of like taking its time, but at the same time I don't know why it's really taking its time, because like we already know Russ relatively well from the first book. The only new character is Aurora and her friends, whereas like in the other books, like all of them were new characters. Like there wasn't somebody that we'd already had an established like or trust with. Like we were just starting from scratch, all the others. So I don't know. I like it so far. They just made it to the summer camp. I'm excited for the summer camp to like actually begin, because I feel like that's like the most important part of the book is going to be the summer camp element. So I'm excited. I definitely think I can finish this book tonight, but then I think once I'm done with this book, I'm just going to be done. I feel like today's just been so off for me. Like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just been like an off day. I really think me not being able to nap last night-ish really just threw off the entire day, and I'm so upset about it, but what can I do? Okay, we have reached the point in the night where I'm literally exhausted. I can barely keep my eyes open, so I am going to transition into an audiobook of Wildfire, and I'm gonna redo my home screen to make it look more summery, because I still have my spring home aesthetic done. So I'm going to be transitioning from spring to summer on my phone with like with icons and widgets and everything. And I'm going to be listening to the Wildfire audiobook. And I'm probably still going to have my playlist playing, but Spotify's on my TV and then it'll be on my phone. I don't know. We'll find out. But just so you guys know, I am transitioning into the audiobook. I've completed a readathon. I ended up finishing Wildfire via the audiobook. The audiobook was the real G and the real reason I was able to finish that book. I gave that book 3 stars. I honestly debated 2.5, but I think I'm just gonna go with 3. I'm going to catch up with you guys tomorrow whenever I'm more wide awake, and I'm going to give you guys a more in-depth review of these books, and then that'll be it for the video. But okay, see you guys in a second. Hey babes, so it's that time in the video where I pretty much just do a giant wrap up, and it's so sad because these videos are probably one of my favorite to film. So I kind of want to recap for you guys what my in-depth reactions were, what my reviews are of each book. I feel like, hey, enough. I feel like reviewing the book within the 24 hours just takes away so much reading time because I like to yap. So I saved this part for the ending of the video just to save me some time. So the first book that you guys saw me read was Happy Place by Emily Henry. As you guys know, I did rate this book 4.5 stars, and the reason it wasn't a full 5 was just because there were a couple scenes in here that I felt like dragged on or weren't necessarily important. But this book was amazing. I loved the characters, and I loved how just the friendships, I mean, as you guys saw, this book literally had me crying. The friendships were just so pure and beautiful, and the way that they just respected and valued their friendships was so amazing, and their friendships had a sort of depth that a lot of friendships don't necessarily have. I feel like a lot of us go our whole lives like wishing and vying for the sort of friendship that this book captures, and a lot of us unfortunately don't get it. Luckily, I do have that. I have my girls, and so I definitely have a bond and a friendship like theirs. Yeah, other than my little personal gripes with the characters during some scenes, I definitely love this, and I definitely loved Harriet and Wynne and just being able to see glimpses of their relationship form. We kind of got to see the beginning and learn a little bit about the ending and then their new re-beginning. So it was just a really good book, and I definitely recommend it. It definitely has the summer vibes. I wouldn't say it has beach vibes because I didn't really do anything on the beach, but in terms of like going on a beach vacation with your friends during summer, this is the best vibe. It brings the vibe. Then I read Attached to the Hip by Christine Riccio. I gave this book 5 stars. Oh my goodness. It was so good, and it was so good in a way that I can't even really like describe how it made me feel. When it comes to reviewing a book, rating a book, whatever, there's like 4 different buckets that I definitely try to like pull from. It's definitely, so characters is one of them, plot is one of them, the pacing and just like the general writing style is one of them, and how it makes me feel. I don't read books to critique them. I read books because I want to read and I want to feel something, and so if a book can make me feel something very, very strongly, I'm all for it. But this book was amazing. It was very, very fast paced when it needed to be, and it was kind of slow paced when it needed to be. So the pacing was just good all the way through. Yes, there like it was a wave, but it was a wave that always matched up with the scene. So it wasn't like scenes were being rushed out. No. Every scene had the perfect amount of time for it, and that was so good. The characters, you meet so many different characters. You learn to fall in love with all of them. Again, they're in a game, and they're being like they're strategizing the whole time. So you can't really fully trust that somebody's who they say they are because they're on a game like Survivor where their strategies and tactics literally can make or break their game. So it's kind of like you're going into the book being like, okay, I don't know if I can trust you, but you're still a good character. So character is really good. As for the plot, I have never read a book where they went on a survival date show. I've read so many books where they go on dating shows, but I haven't read any books where they go on like a competition show. But this book was so amazing. It was so good. It's definitely going on like my top 10 summer books to read for next year because I've already filmed this year's and it's already posted. Again, check it out. But this book is literally a must read for everybody. It's a must read for everybody who wants to have a good summer. So like this book will make your entire summer, and I'm so grateful that I read it for this readathon. Lastly, I read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This book was okay. I gave it 3 stars. I feel like for all the summer camp counselor moments that I was really anticipating and just getting excited to read about, I feel like I didn't really get that many of it. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was expecting Russ and Aurora's romance not to take up the entire plot. I recognize that this is a romance book and that like they had to get together at some point. I totally understand that, but I feel like there were so many different subplots that were so heavily pushed to the side because they wanted Russ and Aurora's romance to be like this whirlwind. For me personally, I like romance books where like they each have their own individuality and they each have their own little storyline. I feel like this book they had neither. Like I don't know how to describe it. I mean, like with Russ and Aurora, like you hear about their background and you learn a little bit about why they are the way that they are. But in terms of like, you don't really get to see like Aurora interacting with her friends or her summer campers. Same with Russ. Like it's all about each other's interactions with each other. And I don't know, it got to be a little too much. I do love how they both overcame their daddy issues. That was awesome. I think that shows real growth, and I think it was amazing that they had each other during those hard times for both of them. So I definitely really appreciated that. I think that was good for them. Hannah Grace's writing style is amazing. It's so easy to just slip into. And to be fair, maybe this is the first book that I've read where they were counselors at a camp and not campers, so maybe I'm judging this book too harshly, but I really just feel like the summer camp counselor that literally is like a driving force in the synopsis, like that's like a driving factor is like, there, co-counselors, no fraternizing, blah blah blah. I forgot that. So I don't know. I'm just really let down because I was super excited to read this book since October, and I just feel like I didn't really get what I was excited for. So it's okay. A lot of other people loved it, so you probably will like it as well. It just wasn't really for me. Also, there was a lot of scenes and I just had to skip through it. But I did read this half physical, half audio, and I think the audiobook was really like my saving grace there at the end because I was so exhausted. Well, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe because I post every single Thursday. I love filming these types of videos and I definitely want to do more of them. I'm debating if there's another chance I'll get to do it this summer or how I can arrange my schedule to where I do have time to do another one this summer because I feel like these are just so much fun to do. But with all that being said, I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye!